Okay.
Oh gosh.
So hi everybody. This is What's the Tea with Nikkolayla, and it's so good to be here with you. We are starting some brand new interactions with people, and I have a wonderful guest on my show. This is my Aunt Sheila. Oh my gosh. Um, Anyway, she is one of the organizers for the Black Tennis Hall of Fame, and I'm so proud and so grateful that she came on my show. Now she's going to have to, if I said something wrong, please correct me, Aunt Sheila, because I want to make sure that this interview is most thorough, so it's complete, so you are the right information is being given, because I just like to have the right information beginning. So
Okay.
how are you doing today? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks. Doing good. Glad to be here and that we're finally in session.
Yeah, it took some time, everybody.
Yeah, and with Black Tennis Hall of Fame, I work with one of the original organizers. I'm currently executive director.
Okay.
I was put on last year, so I am terribly, terribly enjoying it. It is wonderful.
Yay. Okay, so you have to, I briefly asked you a question a while back about what was your inspiration, because my show was about inspiration, passion, compassion, love, joy, and kindness. So I wanted to find out, what was your inspiration to be a part of the Black Tennis Hall of Fame? So there might be some technical issues, everybody. So I'm going to repeat the question that I just asked. I asked my Aunt Sheila, what was the inspiration of being part of this organization? Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay.
Primarily, with the mission of the organization in honoring. When I came in, I came up with a motto, and it is preserve, honor, respect, remember, because that is what is not being doing for a lot of historical Black tennis players, contributors, regional legends, pioneers, and they're not being inducted in the International Tennis Hall of Fame, and a lot of it is being ignored. And I love that Black Tennis Hall of Fame is honoring these people for all that they've brought to the community, because even though it says tennis, a lot of these people, especially our regional legends, have sent kids to college, have put them through so many wonderful programs in the community, have helped their families. It's so much has been done, and to honor these people or to let them go without that honor, in our community is just such a negative. So I love being a part of bringing all of this to fore. For a lot of people don't even know some of the great things that these people have done. So that's the most inspiring thing for me.
Yeah, you know what? I reviewed some of the website, and I thought to myself, and I saw some of the videos, and I thought to myself, it actually gives you a sense of pride and honor, to know that all these wonderful, amazing people have put their stamp on other people's lives. So what I got from there is it enhances character, and it strengthens community, because one of the things that I can't remember the gentleman's name that was on the video that I saw is that he said it doesn't matter, it's about community. So everybody has their idea of what the importance that it brings, but all of them are just amazing, and there's just a camaraderie and a connection that is created with
so much so. And we don't want these people to go without being honored for all that. Everything you just said is so very true. And we want to make sure that everyone, a lot of us do things that, some may never be known that we have done. But when it's to the extent that it does broaden our community, that it enhances the lives of our children, that it brings things to the community that racially in years gone by, we weren't even able to be a part of. Right. So when they make those changes and send our community forward, they should be honored.
Yes, it is. I mean, there's so many. I'm like, it's a multitude of people that have they had a heart. And now there was one statement, the gentleman that was speaking, that was, they kept going back to him quite often. It seems like he had some deep history about it, and I didn't remember his name because I just saw the video. But basically, he was talking about that people had this passion so much in them that they technically hurt themselves because they couldn't express it in the same way that they would have naturally been, the acceptance, being accepted of it. And I mean, for me in this time frame, I know because of where I am in my own consciousness, I feel like acceptance comes from within no matter what. But I get that, you know, looking upon things in life and seeing how the dynamics of how you grew up and how you're treated, and how you're treated less than because what's being stated is the color of your skin or whatever. It's like, you don't get to do this because this is how you look. Now, whether it's true or not, or I don't know, it is an experience that has been had, and it's been, you know, detrimental to some because their consciousness wasn't, you know, at a place where it's like, I want you to accept me. I think so many of our people in our community have shifted and changed in this way. It's kind of like, it's more of that, you know, like, I love myself, because, you know, Venus and Serena going out doing what it's like that when you shifted, there's a consciousness shift. So I can see that the consciousness shift has changed when you go out and you're like, I'm going to be me, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to live my passion no matter what somebody else thinks, whether you accept me or not. But there have been trailblazers that have opened the door up, and it took those people to do that. So I just want to know more about what you've experienced, because you're on the inside and you're connecting to the people of the past that have made those, you know, planted those seeds for all that have come forward for now.
Well, it's so interesting because this year is the 70th anniversary of Althea Gibson breaking the color barrier in tennis. And when you talk about Venus and Serena, no Althea Gibson potentially, no Arthur Ashe, who was next up doing things. You hear about Althea Gibson, you hear about Arthur Ashe, but you don't hear about the people that trained them up, that came before them. One of the most important things that happened, the American Tennis Association, I believe November 21st, 1906, I believe is the date that it was erected. This organization came about because Black people weren't allowed to set a foot on a tennis court. The United States Tennis Association, which was then the United States Lawn and Tennis Association, Black people were not allowed. Black people were just not allowed anything tennis. And the American Tennis Association comprised of teachers, Black teachers, lawyers, doctors, all kind of people in our community, all got together and started building individual Black tennis clubs and getting Black coaches from the HBCUs and training up people in our community, which is where Althea Gibson came from, and a laundry list of American Tennis Association champions. So what that failure on the part of white community in America caused us, Black people are always going to find a way to get things done. Always. I mean, for what the American Tennis Association did, it not only put tennis of it and made tennis available to Black people, but it brought community together. It raised our children so much better. So many things came out of the American Tennis Association. It is absolutely incredible. And that is so inspiring also. I love that. I love that.
I love hearing about that. So I just changed the screen so we can see each other. Can you see me now still?
Yeah. I have mine split down the middle, so I see both of us.
Okay. So I just split the screen because everybody, this is all new to me. So we're on inspiration mode because that's the way I do it around these parts. You know, you learn as you go. And that's
right.
That's one of the things about our people that I love so much. We work through inspiration so easily because it's kind of like, if you tell me I can't do something, you know,
Mhm.
I'm going to find a
Mhm.
way. And to me,
Exactly.
that's like an internal motto inside of our people, is that you tell me there's a block, I'm going to go, I'm going to go another way. I had a pastor, I remember him telling me, or telling people, the people that were in the
Mhm.
church, he said, it's not a block, it's an arrow pointing you to another direction. So if you're not going that
Mm.
way, you're going to veer off
Mm.
somewhere else. So, but just don't stop. And
Yes.
so that's
Yes.
what I get from this ATA organization, is that there was like, I'm not going to stop, because when you create your own, they will come. When you say,
Exactly.
I'm going to do it
Exactly.
this way, they will come because they're drawn. And there was one story in there, and people, I don't always remember names, but I remember the storyline where it was a white man who was one of the top tennis players back in, I don't remember the date, but he was one of the top players, and he decided to play against one of what was considered the top players in our culture to see if he was the best. And he actually ended up beating him.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah.
Aunt Sheila's gonna need to give me, and everybody's gonna know you as Aunt Sheila. It's like Aunt Sheila about that.
Well, I love that. I have a wonderful niece, so I love it.
So,
You don't by birth or acquiring through marriage, however it comes, when you have the love of family, Aunt Sheila's beautiful. I love hearing that.
yeah. So it's just amazing, because all of the storylines of what is it's considered an obstacle, but the obstacle is broken because they break through by doing something so brand new. It's
Yeah.
like, it's amazing.
And like you said, it is truly our nature if we are forbidden, and especially we were brought over here against our will. And then we come in, and now that we're over here and we're legally free, we're not going, you may be legally free, but we're not going to allow you to do things. That barrier caused so many Black people to open up so many doors for future Black people, because as you said, it's not going to stop us. You're just redirecting how I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's just an incredible thing. And so what the primary thing, we don't want people to not remember or honor or preserve the history of what so many of these people did. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I happened to meet the founder of this organization, Dr. Dale Caldwell, and the former executive director, Bob Davis, who was also a tennis player. I met them years ago when I started Black Tennis Pros in a website that I started, because I was so infuriated at how poorly commentators would talk about Venus and Serena and their parents. And I mean, the commentary was absolutely disgusting. And I would write to the channels to talk about that, and why is this loud? I never hear that about the other players. And I've been watching tennis for years. I never heard any such negativity. And I never got a response. It never changed. And so I said, why am I asking anybody to stop this? The internet is free. Let me go in here and start a website of my own. I had no idea that it would take off like it took off. I mean, it just, because so many people were thinking in my same way. Why are these two young ladies who are revolutionizing tennis being so disrespected, especially their family? It was awful. And that's how I ended up meeting years ago Dale and Bob. And now here we are, full circle, now all working together.
So
Yeah,
you
so
took
it's
your
something.
passion to create your own website, and then connected to,
Mhm.
wow, that is amazing.
And what's even more interesting,
Uh-huh.
Dale founded Black Tennis Hall of Fame in 2008. I initiated Black Tennis Pros in 2007, and Bob began Black tennis history in 2010. So in a small amount of time, we were all kind of focused on the same thing and didn't know one
Wow.
another, had
Oh
no
my
clue that
goodness.
the other one was doing these things.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. So
it did.
how did you meet each other? Like how did it come together?
Bob Davis the former executive director, his brother, Bill Davis, is a former ATA champion. He saw my website and he sent me a note and said, my brother is pretty much getting into the same thing. You should give him a call.
Wow.
So I called Bob, and that's how the whole thing started, by his brother. His brother loved my website. He said there's no place else online where you can go and find out the information on Black tennis players. This is the first thing that's up like this. So he loved it, and that's how we all hooked up.
Wow. So have you met some of the other tennis players that have been listed? I learned about, I guess Richard Russell from Jamaica, who started his own.
Oh my goodness.
Have you met him? Like, it's just, you have?
We had a beautiful long interview that I posted on Black Tennis Pros. I don't know if I put it on Black Tennis Hall of Fame. You're gonna have to read it. Richard Russell is just a treasure. He has a beautiful spirit. We've never met in person, but we've talked a lot on the phone, and I could just feel the beauty of his spirit and his loving kindness, what he does in the community there in Jamaica. He is so grateful to what, everything that has happened in his life. It was such a pleasure to interview him. So I haven't met him in person, but really love that guy.
Because there is a passion to keep it going, that love. I think I told you about my uncle. My uncle Leonard, he's still teaching tennis, and eventually I'm gonna have to have him on my show, only because there's a love there, and then a connection with children, and I know that for some reason it just does something for people. I have no clue what it is, but it just brings people together, and a love for a sport.
I think it's the origin of how so much of this has come about, and especially with the history of how tennis came about in our community. And it's always been about making the lives of our children better as they move forward. It may be through the sport of tennis, but everything that we do for them, in teaching them, in educating them, in showing them how to move forward, that's always the bottom line of it. It's not just playing a game. It's everything about you and what you bring to the game. So it's very different, very different.
What I get from it is it's to me, I always consider it as like mind, body, spirit, because there's so many dynamics that transform a person. There's discipline that's necessary. You know how to honor yourself and love yourself and grow, and then connect with others and be able to work as a team. It just brings people together. That's what I get from
it. It does. It truly does. And not every, kid or some of the juniors that come into the sport, the greater majority of them don't go professionally into the sport. But what occurs for them being trained, and the coaching, and what the majority of these coaches bring for them, that is what initiates so much more of what they do in life. You should hear when we have our induction ceremony, some of the people that are there supporting the regional legends. And these are coaches or former players that have done things in the community that just has made them legendary for what they've done. And you should see the kids, some who are adults, some who've graduated college because of the scholarships they got coming through them. They're so grateful. It's something. It's something to see.
Wow.
Something to see.
So I have so personally, how did you play tennis when you were a younger? Did you like?
I served. I played in high school. I was not really introduced until I got to high school, and then I got very crazy about the sport myself, but never saw me as a person who would be into it. But I loved it. So, like I said, I always watched it long before Venus and Serena came along. But I did, and we had a few Black players, that were in there. So of course I was paying attention to them. But I truly love the sport. And when Venus and Serena came along, just ripping up the thing, I thought, this is so wonderful. And they were being treated I mean, the fact that they were two young Black women coming along, literally taking over, and like I said, revolutionizing the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of our white community did not like that and treated them horribly.
Right. Right.
And I couldn't take it. I just could
Mm-hmm.
not take it. I said, oh no, I've got to combat this in some kind of way.
Right.
And like I said, I was truly amazed that so many people jumped on the website. Then Twitter wasn't even out yet. I think it
Yeah.
started the next year. So they
Mm-hmm.
jumped on the Twitter thing. We used to have, whenever there was a Grand Slam tournament, hundreds of us would get on my website and use the comment section to watch the games together.
Wow. So you were bringing people together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no, as a matter of fact, it was a little frightening because I also got Black people who would tell me, why don't they see this? Where's this kid? My kid plays tennis. Why isn't this there? Why isn't that there? And I was like, I'm not the total voice of tennis, of Black tennis. I started this to put a positive spin on things, and then I started interviewing players.
Okay.
And people just wanted it to be all inclusive. I wasn't out with the media doing everything all the time.
Right.
So it can be a little rough. Even now, some of the stuff still happens now. It still happens now. I just go ahead and let people know I'm not at every tournament all the time. I did my first media tournament at the U.S. Open last year. That was the first time I ever applied for media credentials and got them. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. But that was the first time. So I'm not at every tournament. I can't cover everybody. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's your fault. You started this, so you got to do everything.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Look at it this way. They're going to ship you all around. You're like, I'm going to be shipped all around the world. Every tennis game. I'm like, I'm there. You see me? I'm right here.
That's right. Here I am. It's interesting. You have so many people with the same mindset, but no one else is doing the work to further that mindset. But when you start, then it's on you.
You're like, be here, go there.
Cover this person, do this. Where's such and such? Where's such and such? And sometimes I think, come on, people. We're all on the internet. You wouldn't know I existed if you weren't on it. Start something yourself.
Yes.
Your own stuff.
Is that part of the whole inductee? So what can you elaborate a little bit about the inductees? What does it mean to be an inductee for the Black Tennis Hall of Fame?
Well, we have 4 categories: pioneers, players, contributors, and regional legends. And each year we allow nominees to be sent to us by anybody can submit our forms to us for over about a 3-month period. And then the committee that selects from those nominations, we select people that meet the criteria that we've put out for them to be selected. And those are the inductees annually.
Oh, wow. Okay, so those are the people that have been listed on the website that I read some background with. Is that right?
Yes.
Like some of the pioneers that have been inducted as well, or you're talking about brand new inductees?
Now, our brand new inductees, who we have, I can't even think of some of the names. Robert Walter Johnson, who is the son of one of the premier people during the ATA days, and his son has a Whirlwind Johnson Foundation. Well, the son is, well, I should say the grandson. His father, who is Robert Johnson Jr., he is being inducted as a pioneer and a contributor this year. My brain just flew away. We have one white person that is being inducted, and we've had several in years gone by. She is the person that wrote the letter that caused the USTA to allow Althea Gibson to break the color barrier and play at the Forest Hills Center. That was the first time a Black person had ever set foot on it.
Wow.
So the woman that wrote that original letter, just, blasting other white people for, you talk about how good this woman is or what she could do here, what she could do that, but you won't even let her come on the courts. So it was an incredible thing. Her contribution, without that, we may not have even had Althea Gibson to come along. And then she comes along, wins Wimbledon, US Opens. She's just an incredible player. But that's one of the things I also love about Black Tennis Hall of Fame. While it is certainly the honoring and preservation of Blacks involved in tennis over the years, it's also for any culture of person that contributed to the forward movement of it. That's very good. I love that, because let's face it, anytime any of us are doing anything, there are going to be other cultures involved and good people from those other cultures. So rarely do any of the cultures, you do anything totally alone without the help of someone else. So that's a beautiful thing. I like that too.
Awesome. So I noticed that it's a nonprofit organization. So everybody, you can donate to the organization if you decide to. That you can go to the website, and I'm going to post everything on my on my YouTube page, so you know where to go. And then also you can sign up for the newsletters, because there's newsletters that are offered as well, for the updated information of what's going on with the Black Tennis Hall of Fame. And then if you want to, fill out an application, it's listed, correct, for a pioneer, a contributor, somebody that you want to nominate. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be up again July of this year, because now that we have our current inductees, the induction ceremony is the big thing upcoming now, and that will be the weekend of July 3rd and 4th. I should say the days the 3rd and 4th, and we'll be at the Sportsman's Tennis and Enrichment Center in Boston this year. We travel, we're all over every year, and this year we'll be in Boston. And the wonderful thing, the Enrichment Center, where we're going to have it, they are an original Black tennis organization, and they own the facility. They are the second organization that we've ever inducted, the ATA being the first. And they will be being inducted this year also. So inducting them, having the ceremony at their facility, really, I think it's a wonderful thing.
Wonderful. Yeah. So this is just, to me, I guess, because it's new knowledge to me, it's just, there's only one way, and that's up. Like that, I can just see more things opening up for the ability for more children, and whatever age group that you are, if you like tennis, if you want to start, learning how to play tennis. Now, I wanted to find out, is there a list of different places? Do you have something like that on the website where people, live in a certain part
of all?
Either part of
it's all, because it's all over the listing of, there are still Black tennis clubs all over, not everywhere, but in a lot of places. There's also now, of course, the USTA is readily available to anyone now. You can go into some of the programs that they have into the community. So actually, probably the first place, if you're not aware of a tennis club in your community, is to go to the USTA.com, and they've got facilities everywhere. So it's but there are still Black clubs in a lot of the communities.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so everybody, if you go online, just check out the website and do a thorough view of it, because there's so much information. There's a wealth of information. Now, you're in charge of that, right? You're in charge of all, or is it? I'm asking.
Oh, yes.
You're in charge of the website?
Yes, of everything. Everything.
She is she does it all. So everybody.
Everything. Social media and the newsletter, everything. I mean, everything.
She's a busy lady, so I'm so honored to be able to have the time to be able to have this opportunity to have her on my show, because I know that she's like busy doing so much.
And almost to even today, I was like, no, we're going to do this interview today. I am not going to do that. I'm going to put something else to the side. We are going to do this because this will be the second cancellation. So no. And I was glad to be able to do this for you and with you. This is good.
I'm so grateful. I'm so honored. So everybody, thank you so much for coming to watch the show. Usually my segments are inspirational. So if there's anything that you want to like reach out to, either to me or the website, just go to the website and check out the newsletters, sign up for the newsletters, and also just check out the website and find out what's going on in your local area. If you're interested in tennis and you want to put your children in tennis or whatever, because it's out there. There's assistance and help out there because people are doing things. So I am so excited, and it's an opportunity for your passion, whatever your passion is. There's somebody that loves the game, and there's kind people out there planting a seed. So just go out there and be that beautiful essence that all these wonderful, beautiful seeds that have come before you. And for anyone, it doesn't matter what culture you're coming from, anyone who has a passion and inspiration to do something like playing tennis, go out and do it and enjoy yourself. And if you only want to do it for fun, just do it for that reason.
That's right. That's right.
Sheila, I'd like to find out if there's anything else you want to share that you want to cover. Please let me know. You're the last person to speak.
Nothing else in particular going on that I had. I was waiting on you, dear.
Okay. So sometimes some of the things that she just said, because it reminds me of my uncle. So he says dear a lot. He's so adorable. But, yes, dear. Okay, dear.
That's an age reference.
That's why my uncle says dear. He's so adorable. Anyway,
yeah.
So,
for some reason, you hit a certain age and then deer pops in.
That's so funny. So, as you all know, that my show is about compassion, love, kindness, inspiration, and joy. So go out there and be the joy that you have been created to be. Go out there and be the love that plants a seed for more people to do more of what they enjoy, and be the passion. Forgot that part. And inspiration, and be compassionate, because all of these people that have set seeds inside of other people, it just has continued, and it's been a domino effect, and it's planted seed. And it's also, with my aunt putting her show out, with her website, there was an inspiration that connected her to someone else that was doing something. So if you just do your little part of whatever it is that you enjoy and whatever your passion is, she became passionate and had an inspiration to do something about and take action. And so if you go out and do something like that, just know that you're going to have maybe something else happen, because the opportunities are endless. So go out there, live your passion, be compassionate to yourself and others, love yourself, and be kind, and have inspiration, enjoy whatever you do, and keep loving other people. So I'm so grateful that you came on my show. I love you very much, and I know that
thank you. Love you too. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. You all take care.